In the seaside village, the salty wind carried the cries of seabirds. A boy named Tall Nam sat staring at a large, weathered plank in Uncle Pon's shipyard. Uncle Pon, a stern yet kind boat builder, was shutting down his yard. Most villagers now used steel boats, leaving only this final plank of ancient teak, said to have drifted from a deep forest. "Uncle, if I build a boat from this plank, could we sail to find the mysterious island?" Tonnam asked, eyes shining beneath a layer of sawdust. Uncle Pon chuckled. "To find a hidden island, you need courage and true friends, not just a boat. This plank is special, but it will be the last wooden boat from my yard. Are you ready?" "I'm ready. I'll name her Braveheart." His friends arrived just in time. Medsai, a rosy-cheeked girl who tied knots better than anyone in the village, Lomchoi, a tanned boy who could read the wind, Pijom, a seasoned fisherman who knew the currents, and Nuan, a rescued orphan seagull. "You're building it for real?" Medsai asked, looping a rope through her fingers. "Of course," Tonnam grinned. "We'll search for the treasure my grandfather spoke of, hidden on a misty island, able to change our village's future." Uncle Pon handed them a chisel and mallet. "All right then, start. The wood will guide you if you listen carefully." Days passed with the sounds of hammering and sawing mixing with the rhythm of waves. Uncle Pon taught them to measure joints precisely. Medsai wove her signature 12-loop knot. Lomchoi built a special sail to catch more wind. Pijam coated the hull with waterproof resin. Tonnam carved a dolphin's eye on the prow. The night before launch, Uncle Pon placed his hand on the hull. "Listen." They fell silent. The wood hummed softly, like a stringed instrument. "It's singing?" Tonnam whispered. "Not singing," Uncle Pon smiled. "It remembers the sea." By morning, the last plank had become a full honey-brown boat with Braveheart painted in black on her bow. Villagers gathered with sticky rice treats, while the old sea elder blew a conch horn. Boo! The tide lapped the shore. "Ready?" Tonnam asked. "Ready," they answered as one. The last wooden boat slid into the water, carrying their dreams beyond the horizon. By mid-morning, the sea was calm. "Lomchoi, can you call the wind?" Tonam teased. "The wind can't be called, but it can be heard," Lomchoi replied, licking his finger to feel the breeze. "The east wind is waking." The hemp sail billowed with a whoosh, and Braveheart sliced the silver-blue sea. Medsai checked every knot. Nuan circled the mast with cheerful cries, and Pijam stood at the bow. "We'll reach the Sea of Mist in an hour. Watch out for Bullhorn Reef." By afternoon, a white milk-like fog swallowed the horizon. Sounds were muffled, distances warped. The little bell tied to Nuan's neck rang faintly. Ding, ding. "Medsai, pass me the guide rope," Tonam said. "Aye, aye, Captain Shortstuff," she giggled, tossing it to Pijam. Suddenly, thunk, thunk, something tapped beneath the hull. "Reef?" Medsai's eyes widened. Pijam smiled. "No, just a pufferfish saying hello." A wrinkled head broke the surface. "Gub gub, who brings me a new boat?"
old gold shell, an ancient turtle. "Hello, sir. We're seeking the mysterious island," Tonam said with a respectful bow. "The path is beyond this fog, but guarded by the great wave ocean roar. If your courage and unity fail, you'll turn back. But if they are strong, the wave will become your stairway." "Thank you," Tonam called as the turtle dove away. "What does 'the wave hears the heart' mean?" Medsai asked. "Just like we listen to the wood, the wave listens to us," Tonam murmured, placing his palm on the hull. The hum grew stronger. "The fog's parting," Lomchoy called. Through the gap, a towering wall of green water reared up. Ocean roar. "Hold tight," Tonam shouted, as his heartbeat matched the sea's thrum. The wave roared, crash, casting a dark shadow over the boat. Medsai tied a spare rope from mast to bow. 12 loops, secure! Lomchoy angled the sail. Never face it head on. Pijam steered hard, lifting the bow. Braveheart climbed the watery wall, but another crest loomed ahead. "We're not strong enough," Medsai cried. "Sing together. Let the wave hear us," Tonam shouted. They hummed in unison, "Hoom, hoom," their voices blending with the wood's hum. The wave trembled, easing its force for a moment. "Now!" Pijam swung the rudder, riding the crest. Spray sparkled like stars. A third wave crashed. The mast quivered. Nuon darted forward, dropping her bell into the wave. Ding! And it seemed to hesitate. "The wind's with us," Lomchoy called. "No letting go!" Medsai's hands bled from the rope, but she held firm. "Braveheart, go!" Tonam raised the oar like a flag. The last wooden boat skimmed over the crest and slid down into calm waters. The sea seemed to applaud in silence. "We did it!" Medsai laughed through tears. But on the horizon, dark shapes circled, accompanied by mischievous laughter. "Seabird pranksters," Lomchoy frowned.
Dozens of seabirds swooped in. Their leader, Palaki, had a tufted crest and sly eyes. "Cree, crang, a new wooden boat. Smells of love. We must play with it." "Don't touch my knots," Medsai warned. Palaki laughed, tugging the 12th knot loose. Plink! The boat rocked dangerously. Other birds snatched pegs, pulled at the sail, and mimicked the boat's hum, off-key on purpose, making it wobble. "We're not here to fight you," Tonam called from the bow. "Then play a game," Palaki said. 3 rounds. Win, and we guide you through our whirlpool lair. Lose, and we keep your boat." "What game?" Lomchoy asked. "Round 1, guess the wind's song. Round 2, untie the blind lot. Round 3, make the sea laugh." "Deal," Tonam said instantly. Round 1, wind's song. Palaki beat his wings, making the wind whistle thrice. "Hoo, whee, wah." "Point the sail correctly, and we return your peg." Lomchoy closed his eyes. Low wind, side wind, high wind. He adjusted the sail's height. Correct. The birds cheered. Round 2, blind knot. They tied a scarf over Medsai's eyes. "Untie our special knot without looking." She smirked. "This is the hidden worm knot. Shake left, press the hidden loop, slide, click." The rope came free. Round 3, make the sea laugh. "Not people, the sea," Palaki grinned. Tonam touched the hull. "Wood, have you ever laughed?"
The answer echoed faintly. "Together," he whispered. They hummed the wooden tune while Medsai tapped to book it. Thump, thump, thump. Lomchoy blew across a bottle. Hoo! Pajam plucked a fishing line. Ping! Nuon cried, "Creeb!" The sounds layered into ripples of music. They sang, "Wave, dear wave, hear the fish, hear the wood. If our hearts are not alone, will you smile for us?" The sea rippled gently, foam popping like children's giggles. Polaki gasped. The sea really laughed. He returned all the pegs and gave Tonam a long silver feather. "Place it at your bow. It will guide you through our whirlpool lair. But if you argue, the feather will fade." "Thanks, Polaki. Now hurry, the island lies beyond the whispering reef." Night fell. Stars glittered on the sea. The silver feather glowed softly, pointing toward open water. Soon swirling waves appeared, the birds' whirlpool lair. Steer wrong, and they'd be swallowed. "Use the sea's laugh rhythm," Pajam reminded. They hummed, steering to the beat. The whirlpools loosened, letting them pass. At dawn, a low mountain rose from the mist, an uncharted island. Beneath the hull came a steady thunk, thunk, followed by faint whispers. "That's the whispering reef," Lomchoy said. "It warns, not tricks." Tonam knelt, pressing his palm to the hull, humming back. The whispers faded, and tiny bubbles formed a path. They entered a crescent-shaped bay with water so clear they could see the sandy bottom. At the bay's end, a stone arch framed a hidden cave. Blue glowing seeds drifted from the trees above like daytime fireflies. "Treasures in there?" Medsai squinted. They anchored and entered the cave. Water dripped, clink, clink. The air smelled faintly of fragrant wood. Inside, a ring of tall stones surrounded an old wooden chest carved with waves and a stringed instrument. Tonam's breath slowed. On the lid was an inscription, "Treasure for the listener. Open with one voice. If voices differ, the treasure is only wind." Medsai grinned. "Easy! We've done that all trip." They stood around the chest, humming in unison. Huom! The lid vibrated, then opened softly. Inside, no gold, no jewels, only a leaf compass in green gold and a book of the sea's voice made from layered seashells. "That's it?" Pajam frowned. "My grandfather said true treasure brings everyone home together, not wealth for one," Tonam replied. Opening the book, the first page read, "Those who create one voice can hear waves, read winds, see through mist, and make great waves into stairs." Lomchoy picked up the leaf compass. It didn't point north. It pointed back to Braveheart. "It points to Braveheart." "Then let's go home," Tonam said. Polaki's flock appeared overhead. "Got your treasure? Hurry, afternoon seas change quickly." They sailed out, the waves gently pushing them onward. On the return, the sea tested them once more. A sudden, off-season storm whipped rain and wind. "Stick to one voice," Tonam called. They hummed, sinking oars, sail, and rope work. The silver feather shone. The leaf compass pointed along a glowing path over the waves. Ocean roar appeared again in the distance, but this time it rose only to greet them, breaking into smaller swells that sped their journey. Old gold shells surfaced. "Gubgib, heading home already?" "Yes, and we found our treasure." Tonam held up the leaf compass. "Good. A treasure that brings you home together is worth more than gold," the turtle said, diving away. As Braveheart neared shore, the conch sounded from the beach. Villagers waved, children ran along the sand. Uncle Pond stood with hands on hips, watching. "They really made it back," he murmured. Braveheart's hole touched the sand. Tonum jumped down, helping Medsai secure the boat. Pijam and Lom Choi lowered the mast. Nuon circled overhead, crying with joy. Palok's flock performed aerial spins. The women brought out sweet rice treats, tastier than ever. "What did you bring back, boy?" Uncle Pon asked. Tonum handed him the book and compass. Uncle Pon flipped to the last blank page. Words slowly appeared, formed by sea mist. "When you return together, the shipyard will live." That night, the whole village gathered in the old yard. Tonum explained the book's lessons, how to listen to the sea, to each other, and to make a wooden boat hum and tune. Uncle Pon leaned against a post, eyes shining like someone who had just gotten his home back. "Shall we teach the children to build boats?" Uncle Pon asked. "Yes, but not just boat building. How to listen." Palok landed on the boat frame. "Kring-kang! And us?" "We can teach playing without breaking things," Medsai teased. Palok puffed his chest. "We're experts." From then on, the village bustled with wooden boats again. Children learned blind knots and how to breathe in unison before lifting a hull. Every launch began with the same hum: to make the sea laugh. One quiet night, Tonum, Medsai, Lom Choi, Pijam, and Nuon sat on the pier watching the stars. "What's the real treasure?" Medsai asked. Tonum smiled. "It's our effort, not giving up before the big wave." Lom Choi nodded. "It's unity, turning the wave into a stair." Pijam added, "And making it home, together." Nuon rang her tiny bell, ding, as if to say all were correct. Uncle Pon's shipyard never closed. It became the first wooden boat school on the coast. People from other villages came to learn. The hum of wood became its signature, and every new boat left with the same promise: one voice, one heart. Moral of the story: perseverance and unity can overcome the greatest obstacles. When hearts become one voice, even the fiercest waves can become stairs, and you will always return to shore together.